Hello, do you remember me? My name is Oksana Polishchuk and I'm English teacher. Okay, I'm sure that you remember my assistant Mr. Cat, but unfortunately he is busy and he couldn't come here to work with you. But today I've got another my assistant. Her name's Sasha. She's my assistant too. She's extremely clever and she's going to teach English with me. I'm sure that you remember our previous lesson and we talked about jobs and professions, and today we continue to do it. But today we've got a very interesting topic, and before that I want to talk about experience of my assistants. By the way, there are a lot of them, not only Mr. Kent and Sasha. So let's look at the picture. Do you remember him? Yes, this is cute Mr. Cat. He's busy actually. Okay, and look at he says, I worked as a travel agent. Yes, he traveled around the world. He is my best one. Okay, another one. Do you know him? Yes, this is Pikachu. And he's got a very, very huge experience. He works for a toy company, Lego. So this is one. Children adore these constructions. And Dino, not just dinosaur or dino. He worked in gardening. He likes eating leaves and so on, so he's in the jungle. Okay, by the way, I forgot to tell you that take a notebook, a pen or a pencil to make some notes, because this topic is going to be very interesting. So, look at the slide, please. So today we're going to speak about such interesting vocabulary as, work for, and work in. Read the sentences, then match the verbs with the objects. For example, number 1. There were men who worked as lamp lighters. Marina Stewart got an offer to work in television. Harry Wilshire works for Swisslers. So we've got 3 sentences and there are different prepositions. Look attentively, please. Here it is. Worked as, work in, and works for. And your task is match the verbs with the objects. Let's do it together. Look at the examples and try to match them. For example, work as, so what is this? What do you think? So work as, yes, you're right, a person in a job. Great. Next one, work for. Yes, of course, work for a company. And the last one, very easy, but work in an industry. Yes, you're right. Okay, and now let's look again at my assistants. Remember him? Yes. Okay, look at the example. I worked as a travel agent. So his profession is a travel agent. When you want to say that you work as some profession, you say as. For example, I work as an English teacher. So Mr. Cat, this is his experience. He worked as a travel agent. Pikachu works for a toy company, Lego, because Lego is a company and work for. And Dino, there is no example. Can you say what sentence would it be? Yes, you're right. Dino works in gardening. So in gardening industry. So do you remember we've got 3 prepositions, as, in, and for. Now your task is look at the board, please, and your task is to complete the sentences with as, in, or for. Are you ready? Okay, let's get started. When my mother was young, she worked, yes, of course, clever students, she worked as a waitress because it's her profession, to earn some money. After that, she was a secretary. She worked some lawyers. She worked, yes, of course, for some lawyers. Now she works where? Look here, industry. So what preposition before industry? Think carefully. Yes, of course, you're right. In. My friend left school 2 years ago and got a job. She worked, it's her job, a tour guide, so she worked, as a tour guide for about 6 months and really liked it. So she decided she wanted to work, again, industry. By the way, I want you a life hack. Look here, what is this? Can you hear it? In, yeah, and what preposition? Yes, look here, in. Easy? Yes, of course. So when we're talking about industry, we use work in. It's easy, really. In, oh, sorry, it's I. Now she works, yes, of course, as, in Australia. By the way, my assistant right now, he's in Australia. Hello, Mr. Cat, hello. And my father works, where? Where? Yes, you're great students in television now. He works, yes, as a cameraman. And the last one, he works the biggest television company in the country. When we've got a company, so what preposition do we use? Yes, this is for. Clear? Yes, of course. I'm sure that it's clear about these prepositions. And let's move on. So, look here, mouse. Sasha, can you read these sentences, please? Yes, of course. She works as a teacher. Are you sure that it's the preposition as? Yes, of course. Because when we are talking about a profession, we use the preposition as. So, it's about me. Sasha, what is my profession? You work as a teacher. Yes, you're right. And she works as my assistant. Next one. Sasha, she works in television. Oh yes, it's about me right now. There are a lot of people in here and they work in television. She works for a big bank. When we are talking about a company, we use for. Thank you very much, my assistant. And now let's look how you understood this material. So, your task is to complete these sentences with the words in the list. Travel agent, IT, tourism, model agency, online gaming company, model, software engineer, fashion, and travel company. And next to this picture you've got a prompt. Yep, work as, work in, as the work for. Look at the picture. Look at this lady. She works as a travel agent. Yes. She works in what industry does she work? Look at this list. Yes, of course, she works in tourism. And she works for a small, what? Yes, travel company. Next one. This is very handsome guy and he works in, can you see the picture clearly? He is working in front of the computer. Yes, so he works for an what? Do you remember for, what do we use? A company, yeah? So he works for a, yes, he works for online gaming company. Online gaming company. He works as a, what is his profession? What is his job? Look at here. Yes, you're right. He is a software engineer. By the way, do you want to be a software engineer? I'm sure you want because you've got with computer as a great deal. He works as a software engineer. And he works in what industry? And he works in IT, yes. And the last one, look at him. What do you think? What is his profession? He works as a, yes, model. He works for a what company does he work? Yes, he's work for a model agency. And the last one, he works in what industry does he work? Yes, this is fashion. Great, you've done it. Thank you very much. So, Sasha, what do you think? Did they understand or not? Yes, of course, because you know that you are very clever students. Okay, let's summarize our lesson. So, today we talked about three prepositions like as, for, and in. And work. Work for. What we're talking about? Yes, of course. Work for company. Great. Work as a profession. Yes. For example, I work as an English teacher and she works as my assistant. And the last one? Yes, it's in. Do you remember what is the prompt for in? Yes, industry. When we use preposition in, work in, it means in some industry. For example, in a fashion industry, in an IT industry. For example, all these people work in television. Is it clear? Yes. Thank you very much. You are great students. I'm sure that you have done a home assignment, so let's check it. Do you remember it? Yes, of course. Okay, look at the board, please. And your task was to describe each profession using these adjectives. Ready? Okay, so a war reporter. A war reporter needs to be brave and smart. Yes. A firefighter. A firefighter needs to be brave and skillful. A lawyer. A lawyer needs to be hardworking and smart. Yeah. And a nursery teacher. A nursery teacher needs to be imaginative and patient, of course. A storm chaser. A storm chaser needs to be patient and careful. A waiter. A waiter needs to be friendly and polite. And a doctor? A doctor needs to be smart and skillful. And one more profession, it's a teacher. So what do you think? Teacher needs to be? What are your ideas? Yes, you're right. Teacher needs to be smart and positive. Okay, guys, and your home assignment. So, Sasha, are you ready? Yes. So you are to write about your parents using work as, work in, and work for. For example, my father works in television. He works as a cameraman. And my dad works for Kyiv Broadcasting Company. I hope that you understood all the material because I want you to speak a good English. Okay, Sasha, what do you want to our smart students? Yes, she wants to say you goodbye and take care. Bye-bye.